Hi everyone, it's Nancy here and I'm back with another process video for you. And again, this is for the Nicole Jones 911 June challenge, which is mixed media. So again, I'm going to be doing a little bit of mixed media on this page. I've just pulled out this Maggie Holmes style board paper, and that came in a recent Scraptastic kit, and I really like that background paper, so I've just cut that down slightly because I know that I do want to mount that up on to another piece of cardstock, as is my favoured style at the moment. I'm then just taking some white acrylic and some gel medium, and I have just added a little bit of the Coral Hardy Swap spray, because I want to not make it so stark white, because the actual background paper is sort of cream, and it does have some sort of distressed bits on it. So I'm just spraying more and more of that colour shine in. And I really love how that is, because it's such a strong graphic design in the background. You can kind of still see the dots and that through. So I'm really pleased with how that looks. And you know me, I like, if a background's quite busy, I like to make it busier. So I'm just taking my heat gun out to dry that off. And as I said, I really like that background paper. I do like polka dots and stripes, and sort of, they're my go-to designs really. The background was kind of lots of tickets, and it could have been cut apart, but I really just love this side even more than that. I decided to add some more polka dots over the polka dot paper, and I'm just using my brayer and the Crushed Curry Stamping Up ink, which is one of my favourite inks. I don't know, I really love that kind of yellowy gold colour, so I've just added that over the top. And then I'm also pulling out some more of my mists and adding that over as well. And I like to sort of heat fix everything in between each layer. And the mists do take slightly longer to dry because it's on top of the sort of acrylic and matte medium as well. I'm just kind of bending my paper to try and straighten it out a bit. I want to mount my photo, and I decided to use this piece from the Wild and Free Glitz collection. And I don't know, I'm not really keen on this arrow paper, so I thought, to use it as a mounting piece was probably the best thing. And I'm using this chalk ink, which was the free gift from the Scraptastic kits. So if you subscribe sort of more than two months in a row, I think you get the gift. So really happy with that. And I don't normally ink my edges, but I did with this layout. And I'm just using another piece of the Wild and Free there to double mount that photo. Sorry about that, my recording froze. I'm just pulling out some different bits and pieces that I have on my desk here. As I say, I haven't pre-planned this. I kind of just go from the colours and just start picking bits and pieces out. And I'm just starting to collage around my photo. You end up not seeing too much of that background paper, but I really like how it all sort of comes together in the end. Putting a piece of that red polka dot in, and I used that on a previous layout, and that is from the February Scraptastic kit, I believe. So I'm just adding these kind of bigger pieces down, and I'm just adding those two bits of polka dot paper together, so it looks like it's kind of one piece collaged over the two. And I'm just using my washi tape to stick those together. I decide I like how this is looking, but it's a little bit too bright. The colours are a little bit too, and I wanted it to be a little bit more muted. So I'm just going to take some more of my acrylic paint and spray in a little bit of the gold mist. and add that over the layers. It does curl the layers up, but I really like how it just kind of mutes out that kind of background paper, and it's similar to kind of how I used on that Cheeto layout. So I'm really pleased with that. And I'm just kind of having to stick that layer back down because where I put the paint on it curled up a piece. And so I think this is a really good way of using papers that you don't necessarily like that much. And I know that a few other YouTubers are kind of doing that as well. Nicole Jones 91 done it, and Elite done it with some of die cuts and things that she didn't actually like. So I think it's really good. I'm taking a lot of inspiration from other YouTubers about mixed media because it's not something I've really done on my page before. I'm just adding some more inking over the top here. So I'm just using my triangle brayer there. And now I'm taking my watercolours just to add a little bit of watercolour texture over the top. As I did in my previous layout, I found that propping it up against my tripod where my camera is attached to is sort of perfect space for for getting the drips and stuff down. So I'm just adding very much watered colours down, and as I said, it doesn't make for the most interesting viewing. I do apologise for that. But I don't know, I like the drippy technique. I used it on my the Cheeto layout as well, and it reminds me of my painting days. I used to do a lot of dripping of paint and gloss paint and building up loads and loads of layers and stuff. So yeah, it kind of brings me back to those days, and I really love how that looks on there. I think it looks, I don't know, I really like it. I like that kind of effect that it's getting, and the more and more I'm doing this kind of mixed media, I'm definitely thinking I need to go back to doing some painting and stuff. I haven't done any painting for probably about 2.5 to 3 years now, so I really need to get back to that. But anyway, I digress. So I'm just inking up the edges of that other photo mat, and I don't mind that it's a little bit messy. I'm quite liking how that looks. And I'm now pulling out some more bits from the Highline collection. I've pulled out that sticker sheet there and just kind of looking if any of those bits are going to work. I'm not quite sure what I'm thinking about here. And okay, I'm now looking through my doily stash to see if I'm going to add any doilies to this. And the story behind this layout is basically at work. I am the regional safeguarding officer, which means I kind of have to deal with any safeguarding problems or any social issues or anything with the learners that I work with. And I was asked to provide a photo to include on some publications that was about my role and that I was the person to go to if people needed assistance, etc. And this was the photo that I provided. And to cut a long story short, I had an email from my manager telling me that basically I didn't look very professional in this photo, which of course I took umbrage with and was very offended and had a rant and got very annoyed. Basically my point behind my whole argument was like, okay, this is my face, so if you're saying that this photo doesn't look professional, well, this is my face. So to cut a long story short, they told me that I needed to find another photo because this wasn't appropriate, even though, to be brutally honest, all the kids know I look like this, and everyone said, oh, it's a really nice photo of you and all this. But yes, it was the words were uttered that it was not professional. So basically, I like this photo of me, otherwise I wouldn't have chosen it to, you know, to be published and go and things, but I wanted to write that story down. And to be fair, I mean, I did kind of joke saying, you know, like, well, if you put a photo up, you're probably going to have to change it quite regularly because I changed my hair and my glasses and things like that. So I did kind of laugh that, you know, they'd have to change it anyway, but then I got demanded to change it. But anyway, so that's what this layout's about, and it really, really irritated me at the time, and I was really offended, but I'm kind of over it now, and kind of in doing this layout, I think it was a kind of therapy in a way. So anyway, back to the layout. I've just pulled out the embellishment pack for the Highline collection, and I've decided to go with the floral designs that were in that pack. So some of them are acetate pieces, and some of them are paper pieces, and I'm just adding them around the photo and over the doily. I've also used a couple of the stickers that were from the Highline collection, and also a couple of the word pieces. The one particularly that says "Be Yourself" was very appropriate, and I'm just layering up those flower die cuts into clusters, and I really love how they look. I mean, I just love the colours of this collection, but I love how those flowers all clustered together work really well. And then using some banner stickers, I've used the zigzag one in a couple of places on the layout, and then I've also taken this diamond pattern one as well, and I'm just adding that around the layout. And I say the colours, as I say, the colours of that Highline collection are really lovely and bright and vivid, and go really well with that black. It's not quite a black; it's like a charcoaly, really get your words right, Nancy. Dark charcoal grey, which kind of picks up the same colours in that Maggie Holmes paper in the background. So I'm really pleased with how that looks. I'm now just going through my other die cuts, and these are the pieces from Teresa Collins, and I pull out that arrow that says "Seriously?" Because that was kind of my reaction, like, seriously, you're telling me my face is not professional. And to be honest, I've been doing my job nearly 9 years now, so yeah, I'm evidently not a very good professional then if I've kept a job for 9 years. But anyway, I'm not bitter about it, I promise. I'm over it, maybe. So I'm just sticking down these different layers and just moving a few bits about because I was kind of left with a bit of an awkward gap, and I wanted to get that arrow piece in. So I've just moved that zigzag bit from the side to edge the photo there. Not sure if I'm going to add much more embellishment. I'm just going to pop a few of those flowers up to add a little bit of dimension. I love that top flower cluster, that's all in the acetate, and that works really well. Excuse me. I'm now just looking at my word stickers. These are some red glittery foam thickers, and these were from a Valentine's collection. I believe they were American Crafts or maybe crepe paper, but you know, they were an American Crafts, normal sort of thicker, and they're a really nice red glitter. And I decide that I want to do some of my title in those. Oh, there you go, I'm just showing you those. They are crimson, the colour. And I'm just going to work out how I'm going to fit the word professional on there, because it is quite a long word. So I'm just playing with how that's going to work. and I'm just going to try and split my title up over the bottom of the photo. I do have the sticker sheet from the Highline collection, and you get an unbelievable amount of stickers, of alphas on that sticker sheet. And I think it's a really interesting way of actually selling them in like those long strips. I would say they're not the easiest thing to store, and I know there was a couple of people who had issues of when they were actually been posted and delivered to them, that they kind of, the edges have got a little bit crumpled, and so they'd lost some letter stickers and things. But yeah, I really like them, and they're a really nice font, and so I'm using the dark black. I say it's not really a black, it's kind of more of a dark charcoal, and I'm just using that for some of my part of my title. And so the title is Not the Face of a Professional, and I have quite a lot of issues with the A, because where I wanted to put it, these smaller letters were not showing up. I then tried it with one of the glitter ones, and that didn't look right. So after, you know, much trying, I am going to settle on one of the small Tim Holtz stickers. That's one of those tiny type ones, and as I said, I tried sort of many different things, but decided that looked the best. And I don't know, I really like the title on here. I think that glitter really helps it pop. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing at this point. I'm just looking through other bits of stash, evidently, just seeing what letter stickers I can find. That's a Very Odd Trees of Colin sheet of paper that I was actually looking at, see if there's any sentiments on there that worked with this layout. And I'm just going to stick that tiny type down there. And I really like how this layout came together. As I said, it was, you know, it was something I really wanted to document because I was so annoyed with it. I am just adding the date there to the side. Again, it's just echoing those tiny types out again. And there's something a little bit different at the end of this video, because the whole layout shot is going to include my layout with journaling. I'm trying to get better at doing journaling on my layouts when I do them. I don't always do it, well, I haven't done it on camera because, you know, I do think I have to go away and then come back to it. But here you'll see that there is some journaling on this layout and how I've placed that on there. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I really love this layout and I hope you do too. So see you again soon, and that's it. Bye!